Alright, so let's take a look at the upcoming superhero films of 2014. Oh god, and taking a look at this list, I can't say I'm exactly excited and anticipating any of these films. Well, maybe one. So let's get to it. Let's begin with Captain America, The Winter Soldier. Yes, it's the sequel to the Captain America film, alright, that came out, I believe, what was it? Was it 2011? It's fairly enjoyable, actually. I actually like that movie. Despite the fact that, I mean, the Red Skull villain barely really did anything with Captain America in terms of fighting each other. Overall, I thought that film was pretty enjoyable, though. It felt like a real period piece where they had some historical things going on, and it was nice. It felt very faithful to the actual comic books. I enjoyed it, man. So this one could be relatively enjoyable. Not really sure what the Winter Soldier's about. I haven't really read up about the upcoming plot, storyline type of things that's going to happen here. But the fact that they call it Winter Soldier, I mean, maybe it's going to take place in the snow a lot. Let's take a look at some of the summary regarding it. Steve Rogers struggles to embrace his role in the modern world and battles a new... Oh, that's right! Damn it! I forgot, because of the ending of the first one. I believe he was frozen in the first film, and then in this, at the end of it, and then they did the thing with the thing, and then he was in the thing, and then you guys have seen it. If you haven't, I recommend it. Oh man, right, his role in the modern world and battles a new threat from old history, the Soviet agent known as the Winter Soldier. Oh shit. Starring Chris Evans as Captain America, Scarlett Johansson is the Black Widow, and this should be an there's Crossbones is going to make an appearance. I got all the action figures, all these guys, man. All the little figs that came out, like, from the first film. I remember reviewing a few of those as well, on the Review Space channel. This looks interesting. Falcon, let's see what else. Alexander Peggy Carter, Nick Fury, of course, Agent 13, and Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I've been keeping myself like away, distant from like any of the trailers. I haven't even seen any of the trailers. This one, I'm pretty sure I'll watch it eventually, but yeah, it could be entertaining. You know, I hope that it's just as good as the first one. I like the first one because of the historical aspect of it. It felt really, there was an olden times feel to it. It felt kind of, you know, everything is set in modern times, in contemporary times, where modern city, modern world, and that one felt like an old school superhero. And we saw something really cool, you know. It was like, whoa, pretty sweet to see something from that era, instead of always in a modern setting. So this one, though, is going to be in I guess it's a modern world, so feels like it's just going to be same old probably, but again, hoping for the best. Let's move on to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Ah, shit, I can't believe we're getting another Spider-Man film already. I can't believe it's been 2 years. Fuck. The first, well, not even the first one, the reboot, The Amazing Spider-Man. I was just talking about it. It felt like last week. You know, I think I made a fanboy reviews on it, on the first one. And it was basically a reboot, came out in 2012. Again, man, I can't believe it's fucking 2 years just came by. It's fucking 2014 already. That shit came out just a couple of years ago. It's insane how fast times have been fucking... It's, I don't know, it's weird. I saw the trailer to this one. I gotta say, I felt so unexcited about this film. Just seeing it. I felt so uncaring about this. I could not give a crap about it any less. You know what I mean? It seems so irrelevant. You got the villain who's played by Jamie Foxx. I think it's Electro. You know, the guy with the electricity. And yeah, like I sometimes confuse him with Shocker because they both have a kind of a similar sounding name, Shocker, Electro, and they both kind of have. I mean, they're two different characters. I guess the best way to look at it is that Shocker is always. I don't know, he's more of an earthquake guy, I guess, and he does that sonic wave thing. I don't know what he does, his powers. And I believe he always used to hang out with fucking Rhino, at least in the cartoons when I saw it in the 90s. And Electro is like this, he actually is electricity, and I guess he's a lot more powerful than fucking Shocker. Shocker was always getting his ass kicked, and Electro was... he could stand on his own, you know, like Shocker needed the fucking Rhino to back him up, like a tag team kind of thing, and then Electro is just, he's a real, you know, super villain. Like, he fucks with Spider-Man by himself, and go toe-to-toe with him. The first one, I didn't give a shit about. This one, even less. Like, I don't even care about this one either. This one seems so... more of the same thing. The villain, I don't care about him. Care about Spidey himself because it's like, who gives a shit? Same girlfriend, same city, same setting, same environment. I've seen all of this already. There's nothing about this that looks engaging. Unless, you know, you're a little kid, you're like 10 years old and you've never really seen much of Spider-Man, or, you know, you're really still into the kiddie superheroes. I mean, this just looks so by the numbers, formulaic, and it's not even like, okay, I grew up in the first couple of movies, you know, the one that came out in the early mid 2000s with Tobey Maguire. Yeah, I mean, seeing those, it's like, okay, now I got a chance to see Spidey on screen. Great. And now with this new reboot or whatever the fuck, it just feels like they're just doing all of the same shit again and again. I mean, where does it end? You know, you want to do a movie about every single villain? We had the Lizard. You know, the Lizard was the first villain in the reboot. Now we're gonna have Electro. Who's next? I mean, it could be, you know, maybe an actual Venom, maybe. I'd rather have seen them actually create a fucking Venom character that was very faithful to the actual comics or the cartoon, where he's an actual badass. And Carnage, I don't know, you know, again, it just seems so irrelevant. It seems so, it doesn't matter. Because once we get through this film, then it's time to move on to the next one. You know, they're getting ready for the next one if they ever make a part 3, which they probably will. It just feels by the numbers, you know. It feels like there's nothing special about it. It's just another fucking Spidey movie under their belt. Just to release it, just put it out to make money off Spider-Man, because Spidey is still very popular, you know. I don't know what to say. It just seems so... I don't care about it. There's nothing to care about this fucking film. Chances are I won't even watch it. You know, I don't give a fuck anymore about Spidey films. But, I mean, unless you're 10 years old and you really want to see some Spidey action, which is fine, great, go for it. But, there's certain things they do. I'm also sick and tired of this token thing that they do with African American actors. And I can't be the only person that noticed this. I think everybody else has, but Electro is originally a Caucasian character. He's a white person in the actual comics, in the cartoons, everything else. And then they make this movie, this reboot, and he's being played by Jamie Foxx. I love Jamie Foxx. He's a great actor. He's funny. Might be the only person that finds his stand-up hilarious, but I used to even watch his fucking show back in the day. He had a TV show, the Jamie Foxx show, but I don't know if he's miscast in this film. I know he's trying to get a payday. It's a good fucking gig for him because it's a big movie. But it's like what he did with Stealth, you know what I mean? When he put out Stealth, that was for the fucking money. to get a check, a payday, because that movie was a pile of garbage. He's done better work before. And I don't know who's pushing this agenda in bullshit Hollywood. And people might say, oh, liberal Hollywood, blah, 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 blah. It's called racist subversion or racial subversion. What is racial subversion? Subversion is basically taking a character that is originally meant to be a white character or a certain skin color, a certain ethnicity, a certain race, whatever you want to call it, a certain race. So a white person, let's take him and then changing his race into something completely different, replacing him with a completely different race. So there's an inaccuracy there. It's inaccurate to the source material, to the actual comics, the original thing that it came out of, and you're replacing somebody with a different race because it's like a token thing. It's an agenda, because it's like they want to come across as, oh, we're inclusive. But here's some of the problems regarding Jamie Foxx being chosen as Electro. He's a villain. He's portraying a fucking villain, a bad guy, the heel, the guy that you're supposed to boo, the guy that you're supposed to jeer and not like. You're supposed to hate this character. Like, okay, fuck Electro. He's supposed to lose against Spider-Man, the hero. So, what is Hollywood saying? What they're saying is it's okay for black men, black males, to portray villains and evil characters in movies like this. But of course, this is the same racist Hollywood that will never fucking replace Spider-Man as a black character. They'll never have a black Superman. They'll never have a black Batman. You're not... Hollywood is very strange with their racist agenda. It's... Again, it's a token thing. It's almost like an affirmative action thing. It's racist subversion where they replace somebody's race, but only if that race is taking a hit, meaning the black race. The black people look bad because they're being portrayed as a bad guy, but Hollywood can also say, oh well, at least there's a black guy in our movie. So this is very fucking... I can't stand Hollywood this way, because they really fuck with people's heads. It's like they're very influential, you know, and they have a lot of fucking money behind these films, and they push it and they portray it to the rest of society. They put it out there. But once again, they never push black superheroes as in the actual protagonists. You know, they'll never have, with the exception of maybe a couple. They had Spawn back in the 90s, which I thought was amazing. I love Spawn. But then they did away with him. I don't know why he disappeared. I don't know what happened to Spawn, but he was cool. He was an African-American character, and then he turned into this amazing fucking badass anti-hero, superhero Spawn. And then Blade, okay, Blade was one, although he was more of a vampire, or a dhampir, as they say, because he was like a mix. He was like a half mortal, half vampire, or whatever it was. And of course, he had his series of films, so Blade was cool. Although, once again, he's not exactly like a superhero, you know, with the fucking cape and everything. He wasn't like a Superman character. I don't know, they never push actual black superheroes, you know, they never actually create them and actually give us, everybody else, an actual figure to look up and say, wow, that guy's cool. But basically, you know, like they never pushed the Black Panther or any of these other guys that are actual, you know, badass characters. I mean, I pray one day that Luke Cage get his own movie. You know, Luke Cage, he's become really popular in the past, probably 5 or 6 years, probably 10 years, really. in terms of the mainstream. Uh, I don't know if he's probably going to be included in a movie somewhere. If he's already has, if they have done it already, then my bad. But again, I mean, they'll never do this to Superman. You know what I mean? It's weird how Hollywood works. It's a strange how this racist agenda works, where the hero is allowed to be. It's always going to be a white person, but the villain once in a while can be replaced by a black character. Once in a while. Yeah, it just I can't stand it. There's a phoniness to it. There's a phoniness to it. It's Hollywood pushing an agenda, and I can't stand the fucking thing. But let's move on. All right, movie number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the last movie I'll talk about. I don't know much about this shit. I believe it's a relatively new franchise or series. It's supposed to come out in August 2014, right in the middle of the fucking summer. And it stars guys like, big names. Vin Diesel as Groot, Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, fucking Batista, the WWE wrestler, as Drax the Destroyer, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora. And even Glenn Close, as Nova Prime. That's pretty interesting. Oh, and Benicio del Toro, holy shit, as the Collector. It sounds like a big money movie. The reality is I have no fucking idea what this is gonna look like. If it's live action, if it's animated, I have no idea. I've seen, artwork of the actual hero themselves, or the team itself, and it's very interesting. Very cartoonish looking, very, there might be some sort of, satire going on, or at least some sort of, poking fun at the genre, maybe, a little bit of Deadpool-esque type of things. But, this could be an interesting film. And it's a big star-studded cast. I don't know, it could be fun. Could be worth checking out. I'll wait until the fucking reviews, that's for sure. And Batista's in it, so it's like, Batista's alright as a wrestler, but as an actor, that's the only reason he returned to the WWE, was to promote his fucking film. It's like, I don't know. Always liked Vin Diesel. He's great. Pretty much every movie he does is relatively entertaining. Whether it has good acting or not, entertaining. Not much to say, really. I'm expecting this to be quirky, interesting, and maybe a little bit left field in delivery, as far as wow, I didn't see that coming. Not like this predictable, I'm the good guy, we're the good guys, let's fucking let's beat the bad guys, and that's it, let's go home. That basic story of good versus evil. I don't know. So, that's pretty much it. This is a little too long. Superhero movies have fallen off greatly in the past few years. We've seen a golden age, I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. The Dark Knight, that era, the early Spider-Man films, maybe. I think, am I missing something here? Isn't there a fucking X-Men movie that came out, or is coming out? Ah, shit, X-Men Days of Future Past, right. May 2014. I enjoyed the First Class film. Great stuff. Probably the best fucking superhero movie I've ever seen. In terms of overall acting, presentation, pacing, characters, it was great. The story was good, despite all the little inaccuracies that everybody else hated. This one could be good. I believe certain characters return, but it just depends. It depends. I don't know, movie by movie basis. Just because the first one was good or First Class was really good doesn't mean this one's going to be great or incredible or anything. I mean, I'm just hoping that it's just as good as the fucking First Class. I mean, you know, these movies have become very serious. They try to be so realistic, and they try to be so fucking, you know, everything is like, holy shit, everybody's wearing the same boring looking clothing, you know, not a lot of colors, you know. Something happened from the 90s when I used to love the X-Men cartoons, and it was amazing back then. The bright colors, the great charismatic characters, to the films that became so serious and very realistic driven to the point that it's kind of like, oh, it's just people with special powers, but that's it. Just a bunch of dudes with powers that are beating some other dudes with powers that are doing evil type stuff. But again, the First Class was great, so I mean, easily the best out of all the fucking X-Men movies. And I hope this one's even better or just as good. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I'm getting sick and tired of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I mean, my god, this guy has been portraying fucking Wolverine since the early 2000s. You know, what a gig. What an amazing gig this guy, the payday that this guy got over the years portraying Wolverine, which used to be one of my favorite characters ever. Hugh Jackman is okay as Wolverine, you know what I mean? He's alright, but he's not... He doesn't have that viciousness, that amazing charisma that Wolverine's supposed to have. I don't know, I don't know. He used to be so funny in the cartoons, he had the best lines. And here's the number one thing that I can't stand. Hugh Jackman is always playing Logan. He's always fucking Logan. It's never Wolverine. Wolverine is a guy in a fucking suit. A yellow and blue and black suit. And he looks like a fucking demon. You know, I remember having an argument with somebody regarding, you know, the Wolverine suit. And the guy goes, well, you know, we don't need it because, you know, it looks silly, it's cartoonish, and that's what everybody used to say. We don't want the suit because the yellow suit makes him look goofy. It's cartoonish. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, then let's fucking take away Batman's suit, or Spider-Man's suit, or Superman, or any of the other fucking characters that have costumes. Why not take theirs too? Because you don't take them away because that's what makes the character. It's the aesthetic, it's the visual that's why in everything else, video games, cartoons, comics, Wolverine is fucking Wolverine with the same fucking suit. Yellow suit. You know, sometimes they alter it to a different color, but he still has the same suit with the black, I don't know, the face horn mask thing. And they just, I don't know, they just never do it with the films. They never put it on him. Maybe they did with the recent movie. I haven't seen the recent one, the sequel of X-Men Origins Wolverine, the new one. Because I just stopped giving a shit. I don't know. This could be an okay film, I guess. This video's gone on too long. Till next time.